Hi everyone, it's Dr. Elaine Buchanan. Welcome to our second week of the Christian Scriptures class. So just to give you a heads up, this video is going to be longer than most of our videos because I just want to make sure that we're on the same page and that we are all set up for success in our class and our time together. So first of all, just as a quick reminder, our discussion boards, the initial posts are due on Thursdays. Responses to the initial post of 2 other students are due on Saturdays. Our weekly quizzes are also due on Thursdays. And then our ALAs are due on Sundays. So please make sure that you write this down somewhere so then that way you are much more likely to make sure that everything is turned in on time. Also, for late assignments, I do not accept late assignments unless it is an emergency. An emergency is when, let's say, you're in a car accident, which hopefully that won't happen, or somebody ends up in the hospital, or something extreme, okay? So that is the only reason to receive an extension. And if you need an extension, please contact me as soon as possible so we can work together to figure out how to keep you on track and also give you the time and space that you need to deal with the emergency that has come up. Also, for the ALAs, please make sure that you turn them in on the assignment online on our class page. That is very, very, very important. Also, I wanted to give you a heads up and let you know that all of our weekly ALAs actually contribute to our final summative project. So please make sure that you download your syllabus, that you read through it several times, and so that way you have a really good idea of where we're going with our class. So there are a couple of other things that I want to talk with you about, especially in regards to our ALAs, because there seems to be a little bit of confusion regarding those. And so I want to show you those. I want to talk through that a little bit. But there was something else I was going to do too. Let's see here. You know what? I'll remember it while we're talking, and then I'll just I'll mention it at that point. All right, so let me go ahead and share my screen with you, and then we will talk through what we need to do with our ALAs. All right, so there are a couple of things that I want to show you that will be really helpful as we talk through a little bit of what we are doing with our ALAs for each week. All right, so this is the opening to our class page. Mine probably looks a little bit different than yours because I'm serving as the professor. But what I want to do is I want to go ahead and click on this start button and go to the course guide. So once you click on the course guide, you'll see all of the different modules that we have in our class. And I'm going to go ahead and go to this first week. So we've already finished our first week, but this is where this information is at. And I want to take a look at the required reading and resources. The required reading and resources. And the required articles, choose one theme. Click on this right here. And this is going to go through all of the different themes, the different passages, all of that we are taking a look at and that we are working on for our time together. Okay, so actually this is what it looks like. So all of you should have downloaded this document. It is very, very important. It gives a big overview, a big picture of what is happening in our class. Okay, so first of all, you will notice that every week the different passages and different articles for each of the 3 themes are required. You have to read them because they are on our reading quiz. When it comes time to write your ALA, you will focus on the one theme. So whatever theme that you chose for the first week, that's the theme that you're going to be working on throughout the entirety of our time together. Okay. So I want to talk through a little bit of what we did for last week, and then we'll talk about what we're going to do this week. Okay. So for those of you who chose the theme God, your paper should have focused solely on Exodus chapter 3 and the Cultural Background Study Bible article, God's Name, which is on page 110 and 111. Okay. So that's the main emphasis. That is the main focus. Now, Engaging the Christian Scriptures, that textbook, and the article here from the Cultural Background Study Bible, that serves as a background for having a greater understanding of what is happening in Exodus chapter 3. Okay. Some people chose to go way beyond Exodus chapter 3, but that's not actually what we're doing in here. What we need to do is focus and hone in only on this passage. For those of you who are doing the theme of God, your first ALA should have only been on this, along with interaction with academic resources. For those of you who are doing the creation and new creation theme, you'll notice that creation itself is a big emphasis in the Old Testament. As we get closer to the New Testament, it switches a bit to new creation. Okay, so for Genesis 1 and 2, so for the first ALA, we have Genesis 1 and 2, and these articles in the Cultural Background Study Bible, along with a chapter that we had to read in Engaging the Christian Scriptures. Okay, so the entire emphasis, the entire focus should have been on Genesis 1 and 2. And again, the articles here and the reading and engaging the Christian Scriptures provides good, solid background for understanding what's happening in Genesis 1 and 2. Okay. For the theme covenant, if you chose covenant, you could choose either Genesis 12, 1 through 9, or Exodus 19, 1 through 20:21. Okay. Again, the emphasis, the focus is on this passage or this passage, whichever one that you chose. And the articles from the Cultural Background Study Bible and the chapter from Engaging the Christian Scripture serves as a background for understanding either one of these passages. Okay. So, for this upcoming week, we're doing something very similar. If you chose the theme of God, you'll be doing your entire paper on Isaiah 53, 1 through 12, and this article in the Cultural Background Study Bible in our required reading from Engaging the Christian Scriptures. Okay. The same is true for creation, which again is Old Testament. As we move closer to the New Testament, it switches, it enhances, that's a better word to use, to new creation. So the entirety of your paper, if your theme is creation, new creation, should come from Jeremiah 10, 11 through 16, along with the chapter from Engaging the Christian Scriptures and these articles from the Cultural Background Study Bible. And the same is true over here for covenant. So 2 Samuel 7, 4 through 17, and then these articles from the Cultural Background Study Bible and from Engaging the Christian Scriptures. Okay. So this is the big picture of what we are working on. And something that's important to keep in mind is to focus and hone in on that particular passage. And don't go pulling passages from other passages in Scripture. Just focus and hone in on the passage that we have for that particular week and for that particular theme. Okay, so this is the passage. This is the information that you need to begin writing your ALAs. Now let me go back to this. Let me go back to Course Guide, and we will go to our second week, which is the week that we are currently in. Oh, and I remember what I was going to tell you. I was going to tell you that I am still working on grading your first ALAs. There are approximately 25 students in our class, and so it takes a little while to read through 25 different people's writing. This is about twice the size, I would say, of a normal class, a normal online class. So I do hope to return those to you today. And if for some reason I can't, I will be sure to get them back to you by Wednesday. All right. So week 2, let's go ahead and look at our ALA for this week. And we're going to talk through everything that you need to do for this ALA, because all of the instructions are very clear and they are right here for you. Okay. So write an essay on your chosen theme. So whatever your chosen theme was last week, that's the same theme that you'll be doing throughout the entirety of our time together. So God, creation and new creation, or covenant. Okay. So based on the passages of scripture, articles from the Cultural Background Study Bible, and you're reading from chapter 3. And I just showed you the document that shows you every single thing that we're doing from weeks 1 through 6. Okay. So you can see the passages and the articles here. They are the exact same thing as what I showed you on that particular document that I just showed you. Okay, number 2, use the prompts below to guide your writing. Okay, A through C all need to be addressed. A through C all need to be addressed. Okay. So what does the required passage? So if it's God, it's Isaiah, the Isaiah 53 passage. If it's creation, Jeremiah 10 passage. Covenant, 2 Samuel 7 passage. So what does that passage relay about God? What does it relay about people? What does it relay about God's creation, about God's relationships with people in creation, and about people's relationships with God in creation? Okay. Once you have done that, then move on to letter B. How does our reading from chapter 3 and engaging the Christian scriptures provide a foundation for understanding this theme within this passage? Okay. And then C, how does this passage add to, adjust, or create deeper meaning for your initial definition of this topic? So the instructions, 500 to 750 words, double-spaced, 2 academic references from our required textbook and or Northwest University Library's online databases should be footnoted and included in the bibliography. Use either MLA or Turabian writing style and refer to the rubric for grading criteria. So as you can see right here, the instructions are very specific and they hone in on this passage, or this passage. Okay, so that is what I am asking you to do in our class. Okay, so again, the passage, article or articles from the Cultural Background Study Bible, and then our reading from chapter 3 and engaging the Christian scriptures. The articles and this chapter in engaging the Christian scriptures provide a foundation for understanding each of these passages depending on the theme that you chose. Okay, so if you have any questions about this, it is okay to ask. I will probably send you back to this video to watch it again just to make sure. But if you have any questions after watching the video a couple of times, please do feel free to get in touch with me. Again, it's very, very, very specific what we're doing in this class. The other thing that I wanted to mention to you is that it's important to take a look at our summative project. I'm actually going to see if I can go to that just for a brief moment, because all of our papers contribute to the final summative project, and we'll spend more time talking about this later. It looks like my computer does not want to work with me. So there we go. All right, so let's go ahead and go to summative part B, summative project part B. So this is the overview for that assignment. Okay. Actually, let me go ahead and go to the assignment itself. So here are the instructions for the summative project, and you can read them here. But what you'll notice is that summaries of the main points of each ALA from weeks 1 through 6 need to be written in 1 paragraph each. Okay. So after you receive feedback on this first ALA, some of you have very little adjustments to make. Some of you have a significant amount of adjustments to make because you went a variety of different places and spaces as opposed to just sticking with the passage itself. So once those questions have been addressed all of the questions for the ALA, I would summarize the entirety of that ALA in a paragraph. Paragraph would be right around 3 to 5 sentences each, okay? And you'll notice that the questions that we asked for the ALAs are expanded here. So you need the specific examples. You need the specific ALAs for each week in order to do this. So what thoughts, ideas, and perspectives shift? What stayed the same? And we'll continue going through this as we get closer and closer to our summative project. What you need to know for right now is that you'll need a 1-paragraph summary of your first ALA, and it has to focus and hone in on the particular assigned passage for the first week's ALA. All right, so with that being said, I just want you to know that I'm proud of you. I'm honored to work with you, and I will do the very best I can to return your first ALAs to you today, with the understanding that it may be tomorrow before I am able to get them done.